One of the biggest questions I've seen in the Naruto fandom over the years is why Sasuke Uchiha is seemingly always out of chakra in Boruto. It's gotten to a point where the memes have become endless, and even some of the biggest diehard Sasuke fans have reached a level where they say if a jutsu requires chakra, then Sasuke probably doesn't have enough chakra for it. It's led to the question of what happened to that Giga Chad Sasuke who impressed the Sage of Six Paths with his genjutsu when he trapped the Biju simultaneously under a genjutsu and put them in the Chibaku Tensei, and then went on to fight Naruto at the Final Valley. How did we go from Giga Chad Sasuke to virgin adult Sasuke? Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over the honest truth about Sasuke being out of chakra, and it's not going to be a lazy answer like so many people tend to resort to with the usual, it's the writers or the plot dictates it, but instead, it's my hope this video will provide the most in-depth response to the question of why Sasuke is always seemingly out of chakra in Boruto, and we'll be doing so using an official statement from Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto, as well as information from the manga that Masashi Kishimoto drew himself, the Naruto manga. So to answer that question, we first have to look back to Naruto volumes 70, 71, and 72, and we have to look at the facts about Sasuke with his rinnegan and dispel some of the misconceptions that come from both Shippuden's added scenes of rinnegan Sasuke, and especially the way that Naruto Ninja Storm 4 buffed up Sasuke to unrealistic expectations and knock away some of that nostalgia that is blinding people from remembering what actually happened in the series. So the first thing we have to do is throw out everything you got from the video games and the Shippuden anime only scenes and stick strictly to what was presented in the official source material for Naruto, which is the Naruto manga and Naruto Gaiden, which are chapters 701 to 710, which are going to be covering the Shin Uchiha arc in Boruto. In Naruto Gaiden, Sasuke tells us in chapter 8 that traveling through Kaguya's dimensions consumes an enormous amount of chakra and it leaves him exhausted, which is why for a majority of that arc, Sasuke's ocular powers, they wanted full power, with him flat out saying that his ocular powers had finally come back, and Naruto took note of this, stating that he suspected something was wrong with Sasuke's chakra levels previously. And if you look at Sasuke during that time, Sasuke, even though he was using the rinnegan, he did not have the tomo in his eyes. However, this is where some of the disconnect with fans and Sasuke being out of chakra comes into play. There isn't some unquantifiable number for how much chakra is needed to access Kaguya's dimensions. We literally have that number stated in Naruto's manga for how much chakra it takes to enter into an Sasuke time space. In Naruto chapter 683, Obito reveals to us that in order to enter someone else's dimensional time space, in particular Kaguya's, you need an enormous amount of chakra in order to pull this off. That amount is just over 1/3 of the chakra of Six Paths Chakra Mode Naruto, which is the form that Naruto uses when he has Six Paths Sage Mode, and he stacks the Kyuubi cloak on top of it for more power. And this Naruto also had Hagoromo's chakra seal, which is another boost in power. We get this 1/3 number of chakra from Obito's comments. At that point in the manga, Naruto's chakra was split evenly 3 different ways between himself and 2 other shadow clones, using his Six Paths Chakra mode. Naruto offers to have his clone give his chakra to Obito to accomplish his task at hand, but Obito takes a look at Naruto and he flat out says the chakra that Naruto's offering won't be enough. This is why Sasuke stated it required an enormous amount of chakra to enter into Kaguya's dimensions. But there's one more thing we have to factor in here. Naruto and Sasuke, they might be rivals, but they are not equal in terms of chakra levels. Naruto has significantly more chakra than Sasuke. If we round down what we learned from Obito's statement to being a clean 1/3 of the chakra levels of Six Paths Chakra Mode Naruto, it's important to remember that 1/3 of Naruto's Six Paths Chakra Mode level is likely closer to being in the low to mid 40s for the percentage of chakra that Sasuke needs. If Sasuke were a video game character and his chakra levels were an energy bar underneath his health bar, every fight that Sasuke starts off in an Otsutsuki dimension or just after he leaves an Otsutsuki dimension is basically Sasuke starting the fight off with 40% of that chakra automatically gone. But that doesn't mean he has another 60% of his chakra in order to use, because depending on the situation, Sasuke needs to have enough chakra to leave the Otsutsuki dimension as well. So you have to factor in another lump of chakra, potentially 80% of Sasuke's chakra, to enter and leave the Otsutsuki dimension, which only leaves 20% chakra, which means a basic principle of Naruto Part 1 has to come into play, which is having perfect chakra control so that someone can perform high-level ninjutsu while using the least amount of chakra possible. And before we dive into that, I want you to think about the Jigen fight. That's why Sasuke started freaking out towards the end, because Sasuke was reaching a point where he wouldn't have enough chakra to leave, which is why Naruto stalled and told Sasuke to go ahead and get out of there, because Naruto understands how much chakra Sasuke needs in order to leave. Now, getting back to the principle of chakra control, this is something both Sasuke in Part 1 of Naruto and especially Naruto in Part 1 of Naruto struggle with it being stated in Naruto Volume 10 that Sasuke at the time wasted an extra 10% of his chakra just performing jutsu. With it being said, Naruto wasted another 40% of his chakra just to perform jutsu. Shinobi with perfect chakra control can use the exact amount of chakra needed for a jutsu to be performed effectively and still have an ample amount of chakra left over for the purposes of performing ninjutsu or amping up the physical stats with the remaining chakra. However, even with Sasuke having perfect chakra control, Sasuke's rinnegan has always consumed a large amount of chakra, which became abundantly clear when you look very close at Naruto volumes 70 through 72. Sasuke running out of chakra, it started well before Boruto. During the fight with Madara in the manga, Sasuke uses a couple of Chidori, uses the Chidori sword slashes, and uses 3 Amane Tejikara jutsu, and afterwards, Sasuke is shown closing his Rinnegan eye, which is something we know that is done for the purposes of either recharging the dojutsu or to conserve stamina, which is what we've seen multiple times in the series. After Madara returns from the Kamui dimension, Sasuke opens his eye, and he proceeds to start battling again, this time using 1 Chidori, a perfect Susanoo against Madara, using the Chidori sword slash again when Madara begins to transform into Kaguya. Once Kaguya is out, Sasuke uses a summoning jutsu, a partial Susanoo, a perfect Susanoo, 1 Amaterasu, 1 Amane Tejikara when they try to seal Kaguya in the lava dimension and fail, and 1 Amaterasu flame control, and 1 additional Amane Tejikara to switch places with Sakura's vest when she rescued him from the desert dimension. By the time they get to the dimension where Obito died, Sasuke literally tells us in chapter 686 that his Rinnegan hasn't recharged yet and doesn't finish recharging enough to use it until after Obito dies, where Sasuke states that his ocular powers have returned, and he uses 2 more Amane Tejikara, a perfect Susanoo, before Kaguya is actually sealed off. In the battle against Naruto, in the manga, Sasuke's forced to borrow chakra from the 9 Biju after only using 5 jutsu against Naruto in the manga, starting off with Fire Release, Amane Tejikara to get behind Naruto, and Chidori before going into perfect Susanoo to use Chidori and telling Naruto that he needs to fight him seriously before Sasuke promptly makes Indra's arrow using the chakra of the 9 Biju. It's also worth noting that in the fight against Naruto in volume 72, it takes place after Hagoromo took back the Sun and Moon seals in Naruto chapter 690, which, to restate, the chakra seals, they're not required to use the Rinnegan or 6-pass Sage Mode or 6-pass power. Each of those powers are separate of the seals and they're different powers altogether. In each of these cases, Sasuke in the manga is monitoring his chakra and being forced to recharge after a limited number of attacks that consume large amounts of chakra. So now that we've established why Sasuke running out of chakra didn't start at Boruto, let's look at what Masashi Kishimoto himself said about Boruto's manga and some of his worries concerning the fights that take place, which we're going to look at before we move into why Sasuke's chakra levels are actually larger in Boruto than you realize. So back in December 2016 for Jump Festa 2017, Kishimoto sat down with Weekly Shonen Jump for one of his last interviews regarding anything Naruto and Boruto related. He said that due to how much stronger Naruto and Sasuke have now gotten, and the fact that the battles are getting bigger and bigger, and still having to find a way to get the kids included in battles in the manga, the scale of the fights was going to feel smaller, but he didn't want the fights to feel lacking, so they need to come up with a new way to focus on expressing power in a different way or coming up with new ideas, which is something that he said concerned him. The key words here are going to be feel and expressing power differently. You feel like the fights are scaled down, and so Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed in your eyes, but the truth is that they're stronger now by the author's own words, but his main concern was not overshadowing the kids, so he wanted to come up with a way to express Naruto and Sasuke's power in a way before before that doesn't overshadow the children. So how exactly was this done, you might be asking? By continuing something that Naruto's manga actually introduced, which is that Otsutsuki can absorb chakra. All this talk of chakra absorption started in Boruto shows people were not paying attention when they watched Naruto Shippuden or even read the manga. Kaguya absorbed chakra more than once in her battles against Naruto and Sasuke, at one point literally absorbing Sasuke's Amaterasu at point blank range in the lava dimension. That's why every fight you see Naruto and Sasuke have in Boruto's manga, what's the common theme that you see here? The enemies are either enemies who absorb jutsu, as we saw with the fights against the Otsutsuki they fought, the fights against Delta, the fights against Jigen, or they shrink down jutsu that are being used in their area, i.e. the fights with Jigen and Ishiki. However, Boruto on the other hand, the battles that he and Team 7 participated in, when we see them fighting, they're all using ninjutsu in a strategic manner because their enemies can't absorb jutsu, which goes back to Kishimoto saying he didn't want the fights to feel lacking when the kids fight. So the issue of expressing power differently was found in the form of forcing Naruto and Sasuke to fight enemies where the taijutsu was the only thing that worked, which sees them take their chakra, and instead of wasting it on ninjutsu, they use it for a stat boost to make their taijutsu attacks hit harder and faster, which, as Tsunade explained in Naruto Shippuden against the Raikage in the arm wrestling match, chakra can be used to amp speed or strength, which she and the Raikage do. And as we saw in Naruto's manga, someone like Kakashi specifically uses chakra to increase his stamina so he can use the Sharingan. So now that we know the why behind why Sasuke feels, again, emphasis on feels, lacking, and establish the instances of where he ran out of chakra before, let's look at the facts when it comes to Boruto era Sasuke. And it's important to realize all of what's being laid out here is done without Hagoromo's chakra seal that he took back once Kaguya was defeated. After Sasuke opens up an Otsutsuki portal, which we've already established takes an enormous amount of chakra to do, that alone is a sign of an increased chakra pool due to how much chakra is eaten up just to open up one portal, let alone opening up multiple portals. After doing that, we see him use a Maniteiji Car up to 5 times in one fight against Ishiki, which for reference, in Naruto's manga, while being amped up with Hagoromo's chakra seal, Sasuke managed to use a Maniteiji Car twice as many times, but it comes with 2 really big reminders. One, he had to still recharge 3 separate times, so this wasn't 10 Maniteiji Car spams in one fight. And 2, that was with Hagoromo's chakra seal, which Kaguya in the manga, her Byakugan, sees a huge swell of chakra separate of Naruto and Sasuke around their palms in the manga, and that Sasuke never had to burn through an enormous amount of chakra to open up Otsutsuki portals. Despite this, we see adult Sasuke opening up portals that require at a bare minimum 1/3 of 6 past Chakramot's Naruto's levels to open up, keep enough chakra to transport himself out, use multiple Chidori in a fight, use chakra to amp up his speed via the lightning chakra cloak that we saw in the Kinshiki fight and in the Momoshiki battle and the Fused Momoshiki battle, and use a Maniteiji Car up to 5 times in a fight, which it should be worth noting, just the basic 6 paths jutsu that everyone who has a rinnegan can use, i.e. the 6 paths of pain jutsu, are already stated to consume an enormous amount of chakra. The specific jutsu of the owner of the rinnegan, i.e. Madara's Limbo and Sasuke's Maniteiji Car and Time Space Jutsu, by default require more chakra. There's a reason why Sasuke had to train so intensely during the 15 years between Naruto chapter 699 and Boruto chapter 1, because in order to use the true powers of the rinnegan, his chakra levels needed to increase to do things like dimensional time travels and still be able to fight afterward. We also know based off of Boruto's manga that opening up portals to Otsutsuki dimensions with the intention to take others with you eats up even more of your chakra, because when Sasuke takes the Kage with him in Momoshiki's dimension, he states he's nearing his limit for the number of people he can take with him. Finally, when we look at the why Sasuke's always out of chakra memes, while they are funny, they're also stupid, and they're also very misleading. Originally, the memes began to pop up during the time slip arc, which is an original story arc that Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto brought over to the anime staff for Boruto with the idea of it being a film, but instead it ended up becoming anime episode, likely due to Boruto's anime having such an unhealthy production schedule that a movie was not feasible, but tweaking the script for the anime episodes was actually doable. During that arc, Sasuke ended up getting his chakra stolen multiple times. Each time Sasuke stated his chakra had almost recovered, and Urashiki then popped up like it was a TikTok challenge video and he stole Sasuke's chakra and put him near zero again, thus making him have to recover his chakra. Obviously, this was done to prevent rinnegan Sasuke from just destroying Urashiki in a fight, since full power Sasuke, who isn't going through Otsutsuki dimensions, would have more than enough power to be able to take on Urashiki even after he transformed. But I've always thought it was dumb that the people made the "I'm out of chakra" memes. It's led to people saying that he has no real chakra levels, when in reality, him getting his chakra drained to near zero each time is a really big bit of context to leave out. Absolute zero in the Naruto world is death in the Naruto world, and so being drained to a tier just above that, it's absolutely telling. For another bit of context, when you go look at Naruto the Last, when Tsunade used that focused Tensegan Chakra Blast to hit Naruto after he kidnapped Hinata, it was stated in the movie novelization that Naruto was as close as you could get to being at absolute zero when it comes to his chakra loss, and it took him several days to recover as well. While Sasuke wasn't as bad off as Naruto, where he was in a comatose, Sasuke still had a considerable amount of his chakra drained. And it's for that reason we have to look at a comparison. It took several hours in Naruto Gaiden for Sasuke's chakra to recover, and that was with Sasuke having enough chakra to manifest the basic rinnegan without the tomo. And once his chakra recovered, his tomos were shown back in his eye again. This Sasuke was drained to a point where his rinnegan wasn't even active, and Sasuke couldn't even activate his Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan at some points. That's a huge bit of context to leave out. Making fun of a situation like this is something that makes about as much sense as laughing at someone who got all their gas siphoned out of their gas tank and going, haha, you have no gas. No shit, Sherlock, somebody stole it. Anyway, that's gonna be it for my why Sasuke's always out of chakra video. I'll probably get some meme artwork done for the thumbnail, which is probably gonna trigger some people, but hopefully you found this video informative, and if you did, sharing the video helps the channel out a whole lot.